Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, we'll continue our conversation about faction wars and we'll start talking about specific factions. What sequence will I use to talk about factions? Whatever is open when I'm recording the video, because whatever two factions, we'll talk about them two by two, because this will give me the chance to record some footage and then we can discuss that footage while the factions are still open. So, we'll start today with Banner Lords and Shadowkin because these are the ones that are open today at the time of the recording. And the important thing is, I had a previous video that I released talking about the basics of building your faction war team and how to beat faction wars. I won't repeat most of what was in that video unless it comes by chance while we're talking, but I'll put the video link in the description below so you can easily find it and go back to it if needed, because as I said, we won't be talking about the same things again. So let's start with Banner Lords. Banner Lords, I would say, is the first faction here, is one of the factions that a little bit trickier. It's not the most difficult, it's not the easiest, it's somewhere in the middle, I would say. Why is that? Because if we talk about the variety of champs the faction has, it doesn't give you all the options you need. Okay, when choosing especially when we go down to epics and rares, because you won't have many Legos at least in the beginning to beat the faction. So let's start digging into the Legos there and figuring out who you can use, and then we'll go to the epics and rares before I'll show you the actual runs and tell you how you should do that. Okay, so the Void Epics are all super powerful in Banner Lords, but how many Void Epics you can get here? If we talk about the non-Void Epics, Cythalia is really good. Cythalia fills actually like 2 or 3 roles for the team. Why is she good and why she fits perfectly not only in faction wars but in other areas of the game? With her A3, she's stripping all of the enemy team, so she's removing the buffs and decreasing the turn meter. She needs accuracy for this, of course, and she needs to be fast. But this is like turn meter control and stripping buffs. She has a full, like almost, yeah. It heals an ally fully and puts block the buffs on them. And when booked, this is on a 2-turn cooldown. She comes back to it really fast, and she got a resistance aura if you need it. So Zarya is one of the good epics here for support. You will need support to beat faction wars. Uh, Ronda, everybody has Ronda. Ronda can be your damage in faction wars. She's strong there. Uh, Steltus, very strong defense-based damage dealer if you have him. Menaya's good support. I think she has a lot of heals. Yeah. So if you have Menaya, she can support your team too. Helior also provides support for the team with his shield. Yeah. Logan, I'm using Logan in my fast. Well, no, probably on my budget teams that I will show you shortly. And Logan got a very good kit because he got heals on his A1 for the whole team based on the damage. He controls the enemy by looking down their skills, the waves that won't work on the boss, and he has ally protect if you build him tanky, and the HP aura in faction crypts, which is one of the best. You need this team to be tanky and to have a lot of HP to survive. So, assuming that you don't have many Legos there, whatever Lego you have, and if they are maxed, you'll use them in faction modes. So let's go down the epics and just highlight the good ones there. Archmage Helmut is almost a must for this faction. He's a guaranteed champ that you'll get by beating secret rooms on Doom Tower normal. Okay? So he got everything you need. He puts a lot of good buffs on your team. He stuns the whole of enemy team. He controls turn meter. Make him fast and accurate, and he will be one of the best supports there. Gerard hits hard. Arundolf, I've never built him, but I think, yeah, no, I won't say. Like if you use, so the only epics to highlight here, which are good everywhere and definitely in Faction Wars, Archmage Helmet, Stag Knight for sure. Giscard is good for Faction War. He got a whole team provoked, so he's controlling and puts those buffs on ally. So Giscard is okay. Annabelle is one of the best epics overall, so she can do damage there. Ursula is one of the best supports in the team, not only for epics. So if you have Ursula, definitely use her. She will support the team, and she has the revive because you need a reviver. Preferably in any faction war team, you need a reviver. Why? Just to make sure that you finish with those 3 stars. Oathbound can be your damage. Alark hits hard, can be your damage. Damage dealers for this faction at least, and that's what I'll show you, can work at 50. Knight Errant hits hard, yeah, relatively. Um, so, because the boss for Banner Lords doesn't have any specific effects. It doesn't have, for example, the nasty HP exchange. So even if you have 5 support champs and tanky, you'll just keep nipping at the boss's HP till you kill him. So not a big issue. Ruan can do good damage as well, but definitely the highlights from the epics: Ursula, one of the most powerful epics in the game, Archmage Helmet, and Stag Knight. Rares, I don't see any. There are usable rares here, but a rare that you'll build specifically to beat Faction Wars, no. Yeah. Like there is a couple of usable ones, but no, not that much. If you have to use some of the rares to fill in that fifth slot, maybe at 50, Dagger is a good option there. Valerie can provide additional support. And this guy from the recent fusion, I think, is good too. Defense based, so yeah, he's tanky, he will survive. So that's basically most of the options there. Let's go through the run. I'll speed it up a bit when we need where we need to, and then I'll go into the champ builds. So I'm removing my team here. Is it clear on the screen? Yeah. Oh, so what I'm doing here, I'm checking the last 2-3 stages from 18 to 20, because sometimes in some of the factions, those last stages are quite tough because you'll face bad waves, stronger waves than you'll face even on the boss stage. So I'm just checking here to make sure that the last 2-3 stages don't have any like specific champs that we need to change the team comp for. And yeah, no, it's all clear till the boss stage. So now I'll go to the boss stage, remove my team and put my budget team, and I'll tell you the logic behind it. So first things first, I have a reviver, I have a healer, I have a speed booster and buffer for the team. Preferably an HP or defense aura is best for faction wars to keep the team healthy, okay? And then if you notice here, and that's what I was telling you in that basics video, I don't want to use my big damage dealers. So I've put these 2 champs and they are not even built. They have leftover gear, they're just muling leftover gear. Alaric at 50 and Ronda at 50 as well. So this is my damage. Logan can, well, the other champs can do a bit of damage, but they are not built for damage. I'll show you the builds. And almost all of these champs are in leftover gear. Archmage Helmut is fast because I was using him as a seer companion. If you notice here what we're doing, Logan is controlling. If you don't have anybody that provides control for the waves, you can just simply use an AoE champ in a stun set. And that will provide, of course, you might need a few tries till you get it right, but we won't face any issues here. What you'll notice is that Logan with his heals keeps our health up. Archmage Helmut keeps the team running fast. We had a storm yesterday, so you'll see those pop-ups. I recorded this on my phone, obviously. And then Ursula is our guarantee. If someone falls, She's just going to revive them. Nothing to talk about here, no specific strategy. Only thing I will show you on wave 2 when we get to it is that, so for example, if you're controlling the man eater, that would be good. So he wouldn't put block debuffs and unkillable on the team, unless of course you have Cecilia or someone to strip their debuffs. You just hit them, stay healthy. I think that towards the end of this run, and that's what I was telling you to do in the previous video. You see here what I've done. If you notice, yeah, it's showing behind me. I took it off auto and I kept A1ing because what do you want to do here? You want to go into the boss stage with all of your skills refreshed. You don't want your big skills on cooldown. So we kept A1ing here till we got to the boss. Now I'm showing you the boss skills, okay? So he can put with his A1, he can put like the small version of fear. That's not important. This is the important skill, his A2. On a 4-turn cooldown, the boss will revive the 2 minions beside him and put sleep on himself. Why is that important for this boss? So this is the only skill that matters for the Banner Lord's level 21 boss. Why? Because you'll see what I'm doing here. If I'm not sure, yes, I think it's visible. You see the red mark here. I clicked on the boss while leaving it on auto because it doesn't. You don't want to kill the minions of this boss because he'll keep reviving them. So just ignore the minions. If you have strong support, click on the boss, make sure that you keep hitting the boss. And if your AoE kills the minions or control them, that's an add-on, but keep focusing on the boss. You notice here that Logan fell and then Alaric fell. I'm not worried about this. The battle is still long and Ursula will bring them back. Something to pay attention to here if your team is not too strong and they are not doing like enough damage to the boss to take it down fast. You want Ursula's revive on cooldown already, I mean, when you're close to killing the boss. So, for example, if the boss kills your 2 damage dealers, your 2 weakest champs, and you notice that Archmage is low on health, don't revive the damage dealers. Wait till the boss takes his next turn and kills Archmage Helmut as well, and his health is even lower, then revive all 3 of them. Because if you revive the 2 damage dealers, the boss takes a turn, kills Archmage Helmut, you don't have the skill of off cooldown to revive again before the game ends. And even with A1s, before the round ends. So that's my big tip here. I think I didn't even mention it on the previous video, that when you're close to killing the boss, if a couple of champs are down and you have your reviver, save that revive till just before you kill the boss so you can 3-star it with everyone alive. And you get, yeah, your 3 stars. I just said that. So you notice here, I keep ignoring. Finishing it in 10 minutes, even on manual, that's totally fine, while your account is not that strong. Again, the boss is killing them, Ursula revives them, or if they don't need revive, she puts defense up and strengthen on them, one of the best epics in the game, as I say. And as you notice, even with Rhonda and Alaric, level 50 with bad gear, this is still good enough. We are chipping at the boss's damage. Like I said, no mechanics here that can cause us trouble. So as long as we're surviving, healing, and reviving the fallen champs, we can just keep chipping at the boss till we get him down, and that's it. So you see here, now it's close. I didn't need to save the revive here because I got everyone in good health and Logan keeps them healed. And that's our 3-star. So what I'm doing here, I'm just showing you a run with my faster team and all Lego team. That's not relevant, but if you have a couple of these Legos of course they will make your life easier and make the run much faster. Especially with Raglan. Raglan's revive got a 2-turn cooldown, so she will keep reviving them. And I've got Septimus, Staltus, and Baron all well built. So I didn't even bother like controlling anything, or even like I think I needed to click on the boss here just to make it go up a little bit faster. But you can see we're getting the boss down really fast with my damage dealers. And yep, so Shadowkin got a lot of good Legos there. So Gentoro is a great damage dealer. Lady Kimi, one of the best speed champs, speed boosting, controlling the other team. She puts block buffs on them. Ninja, if you have Ninja, great damage dealer. Mishinaki, great damage dealer. Harima. Mishinaki and Harima are defense based, so they are tanky by default. That's great. Great. Yushi, great support. He puts True Fears on the other team. So yeah, also a great champ there. Genzen can do some damage. Kayoko is great support for the team, and she does damage too. Karato can do damage. Rihu, great support. Yumiko for resetting, well, for faction war purposes, resetting the team skills, so great there as well. So that's the good Legos. Let's talk epics. Turagi, Hutsasu, and Burangiri. Those three. And maybe I'll add even Kenoshi to this for her ally protect. Those four can provide great support. Just build them tanky, lots of HP, lots of defense. They will provide great support for the team as you're going into this fight. And in this specific fight, for the Shadowkin boss, Faction Wars boss at level 21, you need everyone to be tanky. I'll show you why in a minute here. Finchi can do damage, Sachi can do damage, Chunoro can do damage. But the problem is, I think Kingashi is really underrated. One of the gods, and he got a revive. So if you don't have like, do we have revivers here? So there is no revivers, unless I'm mistaken, in all of the Legos in this faction. This is your only reviver. I think he got one ally revive, so use it wisely. But yeah, Gimbo, Oboro, Masamutu can do some damage there too. Maybe a couple of what I mentioned, but your main support is in this square here. Those four can provide great support for the team in Faction Wars and elsewhere. No rares to talk about here. So, yep. So now let's go into the recording and I'll tell you about that boss mechanics and why we need to do it differently here. I'm using my main team to show you the run because I don't have many Shadowkin champs built. And if you notice here, so again, I'm checking the stages 18 to 20 to make sure there is no like special champs that need us to adjust what we're doing here. Okay, so let's go back. So that's level 20, not 21. Control is most important for this specific wave, and you'll face it in 2 or 3 factions, if I'm not mistaken. What I'm talking about, and that's only the first wave. In that first wave, you see that I have 3 Thessalias and 2 Thanasals. So, a lot of THs there. Those 3 Thessalias will keep healing and putting block debuffs on everyone in the team crazily. See, they will keep healing each other, making it really difficult for you if your team doesn't have enough damage to take that wave down. It takes forever on other factions. So, what you need to bring here, Turagi got a provoke, Burangiri got a stun, and Yushi got True Fear. Okay? So what you need, you see here I'm putting True Fear on almost all of them. I missed it on that last one. You need to keep them controlled, prevent them from using their heals. You see here, I then applied the provokes, and then I'm trying to stun them using Burangiri. So for that specific, and Ninja, yeah, Ninja got also a whole team freeze, but if you have Ninja, so that's the main thing here. That Thalia wave at stage 20 needs to be continuously control to prevent them from healing the team forever. So bringing more than one CC champs with provoke, stuns, freezes, um, trophiers, yeah, Yushi. Anyway, prevent them from taking a turn. If you don't, like I said, if you don't have any of those control champs, choose a champ that has AoEs and put him in a stun set. You'll need to use this sometimes, like if I was talking earlier about that you should swap your best uh, life steal and immortal or regen sets to beat faction wars. Stun set might also be a good option here if you have a fast stun set. So, getting into the boss stage. Nothing to talk about when we in the waves before the boss. You just control them, start doing damage, and all of this. Let me tell you something here. I didn't get 3 stars on this one while I'm doing it here, and that's because Burangiri at level 50. Notice that Burangiri and Hutsasu, how I've beaten it and got my 3 stars earlier on, I have had them both in uh, like a very decent immortal 3 sets, 6 pieces. So I had to swap that gear because I was gearing other champs, and I didn't gear them properly afterwards. I will show you the builds for all of the champs for Banner Lords and this one after this run, and I'll tell you which of them are properly built. But for those level 50s, just leftover gear, so they are not supporting the team properly. Uh, Yushi also is in stone skin, is one turn 4 pieces stone skin because I use him in the arena. That's why he's a bit squishy. So probably Yushi is the one that you'll see falling a couple of times. I didn't want to change his build because I built him for arena. How do you want to build your Yushi specifically for faction war if you're swapping gear? He hits a bit hard. You can put him in life steal or immortal. Make sure he got enough accuracy and speed because you can really use him on the waves. So you've beaten the waves and you got to the boss. And I'll show you the boss wave. So now this is the boss for Shadowkin level 21. This boss, it doesn't have any minions, so you're good there. This A1 hits really hard and ignores defense. What does that mean? Even on your defense based champs, stacks them with HP so they will survive. Having a lot of defense on them won't work. So that's the first thing here that we're doing. You want also to A1 to have your skills on cooldown. What do you want to do here? Here I left it completely on auto. You'll see that I don't have revivers, so whoever falls will stay down. Hutsasu provides the heals and the defense ups, and Burungiri as well, I think, provides a strengthen. So you see a couple of them fell. Turagi's too tanky, he won't fall, and Ninja will just kill the boss. I tried it again to do it right. Again, I didn't get the 3 stars, but I'll show you what I've done differently. Going into wave 2, I did the same trick I told you about earlier, that I kept A1ing towards the end to have all of my skills off cooldown. I try to do so here. It doesn't matter which skill Yushi uses, but I try to use the ally attack from Turagi. I tried to use all of my support moves to keep the team healthy for this hard hitting A1. So, like I said, that's why you do it tanky. What if you almost got the boss and then he got killed one of your champs? Just retry. Cancel the run, don't let it finish so you won't use the keys, and just retry till you get lucky. Put them all in life steal or whatever to make sure that they are tanky enough. For people who don't do damage like Borangiri and Hutsasu, just put them in regen or immortal sets. What's important about this? This is one, like when I was talking about banner laws, I told you the boss doesn't have any fancy mechanics that we worry about. Just keep the team healthy and kill him in whatever time you want. For this one, it's not like this. Because he hits really hard with his A1, you want to have a couple of strong damage dealers. Because even if you bring your good life steal and immortal sets and all of that, you don't want him using this too often. A few hits and eventually someone would die. So Unless you have a reviver, and the only reviver on that team is what's his name now? Kinagashi, and he's a single ally revive. Just make sure that you have enough damage within that team so that you just kill the boss fast and won't take too many of those nasty hits. Now let's go into our node by affinity. Now let's go into our builds here. I won't go into the builds of my Legos because they are too strong. So this is leftover immortal gear. I'll tell you if it's too strong. So I would say that's a decent amount of HP. You will need your Ursula to be at that level of HP and defense. That's not high at all. Also, speed, you're targeting around 200. Everything else doesn't matter. She hits a bit hard and she can apply attack down, but that's not major. What you need on your Ursula, your reviver, healer, she's reviver and support, she doesn't heal, around 60 70k HP, around 3k defense if you can have it, and 200 speed. So she'll get back to her revive fast. I built her for damage, but if you don't have enough support here, just give her more defense or resistance. So that's so probably the other Alaric is in. Yeah, let me show you Archmage Helmut. Here, if you see the masteries, I want to increase the chance of his stuns, and he's in perception because I want him fast and accurate. That's okay numbers. You see he's at 255, almost 300 accuracy. That's what you need on your Archmage. Fast, accurate. That's it. If you can give him a bit of tankiness, that's completely fine. He'll help the team. Let me see if I can quickly find. So these two. So these two, like I said, are not even properly built. You see here that's just. Look at those stats. That's how we three started. So yeah, you can do it with less stats. Again here, just like any stats from that leftover gear. So if I beat it, you can beat it. Let's go down now to Shadowkin. Almost there. Okay, now our Shadowkins. Again, I will show you the team I used. Like I said, this is my Yushi for Arena. What you want on him, you want life steal. You want him tankier. So actually, it doesn't have bad stats. Now you see that ignore defense from the boss is really nasty and fast. Yeah, but you can build him tanky there. Turagi's tanky in Stalwart. Stalwart is a great gear set for Turagi. 70k, 3k defense, 200. Like I said, with accuracy for the provokes of the waves. That's a good build. That's what you're targeting as well. Ninja Relentless really suits Ninja. So as fast as you can get him, accuracy. That's it. And he'll do his trick. And if you can build some tankiness into him, that's good too. So we got our Burangiri and Hutsasu out of the vault, like I said. Leftover gear, that's how you build them. So this is too low. That's what I was saying. Probably you want this to be at least 50k HP in Immortal. 3k defense is good. The speed is okay. Preferably you want him to be around 200. And you need 200 accuracy because you want that control from his stuns. Hutsasu, you just want him tanky. Again, leftover gear here. The boots are not even rolled. What you're targeting, 50k HP, 3k defense, 200 speed, that's it. So that's the stats. I don't even think, oh, okay, so I got the masteries because yeah, you farm masteries with energy, but that's it. I think this video will be a little bit longer. I'll put the time codes below, but that's what you will be targeting if you want to beat Faction Wars. We talked about Bannerlord and Shadowkin today. We'll continue talking about the others later on. I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you next time.